Earlier in the show, we had Abbotsford Police Chief Bob Rich speak on the issue of drive-by shootings in the community. In this part of the report, Lakhvinder Jhaj speaks with Abbotsford Mayor Henry Braun to learn more.
Abbotsford has been growing quite a bit. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's been happening and how you've liked being a mayor for 2 years and what have you done?
Well, we've been very busy as mayor and council. Of course, we just finished our official community plan, which is a huge undertaking. Completed that and adopted it in June of last year, so that has taken up an enormous amount of time. But there's a lot of development that has taken place. There's businesses that are moving to Abbotsford that have never looked at Abbotsford before because they hear that there's some new things happening in Abbotsford, and a fresh wind in our sails is how I describe it. And people want to be a part of that, so we're quite happy with some of the industries that are looking at coming here. We're continuing to work on our aerospace cluster at the Abbotsford Airport.
The reason I'm here is I wanted to speak to you in regards to the shooting that's been happening in Abbotsford lately. Can you give us a little information as to why there's such an increase in the shootings?
There's shootings that are happening just about everywhere. This isn't just Abbotsford specific. I know that the media, and I say this with all due respect to the media, and police agencies have a need to name things. And Townline Hill, that name was used to describe a certain segment of our community and the South Asian population, which is where the gangs were now. Where they're not just there, but they are there. And that's unfortunate because this is not a Townline Hill issue anymore. This is a regional issue, and I would say from Squamish to Hope. Every jurisdiction is dealing with gangs, drugs, and it's really a fight over the drug lines and an enormous amount of money that they're fighting over. That pie's only so big, and everybody thinks they should have a bigger share.
People in Abbotsford fear that it's the Indo-Canadian, the South Asian boys that are creating all this gang violence, this murders and shootings and drive-by shootings, and innocent man got murdered out of all that. What can you tell us about that?
Or one of the forums was at the Abbey Arts Centre, and there was a lady that had made kind of a similar statement. And I said, no, I'm sorry, ma'am, I have to disagree with you. When I grew up in this community, there was some Mennonite and Dutch clashes too. I said, I remind you of the Bacon brothers not that long ago in Abbotsford, so this isn't just South Asian kids. It just so happens that in this space in history, it is. But it isn't just them either. There is Caucasians. Well, sure, but so it isn't that. There's an ebb and flow in things, and so today it just happens to be that the focus is on South Asian male youth, but it isn't just that. There's lots of other ethnic groups, including Europeans, Russians, gangs. I served on the Organized Crime Agency of British Columbia many years ago, and that was an eye-opener, some of the gangs from other countries that were here. I have mentored young men in my life, and sometimes it takes months to build a bridge of trust. But once you have that trust, they will listen sometimes to an outsider more than they will to their own parents. And I've mentored those kinds of boys, and I'm happy to see where they are today. We all need to do more of that. And when you see somebody that is taking the wrong path, I would urge adults to take the time to engage them and try to bring them back to a life that is not gangs and drugs and bullets and all the rest of it.
Thank you, Henry, for giving us the time for an interview today.
You're welcome.